I brought confusion to the family. It's a girl with real girl's legs. Daddy could hardly believe it. My parents already had 3 little boys. The year was 1946. Mom was 26 years old. Mom held me on her arm while she was talking to the neighbor. She would shift me to the other side while the conversation went on like soft music. We often had family visiting from the Groningen district. Mom had younger sisters who would stay with us to take care of us. They had their own dialect. An uncle had a garage. He sold to my parents our first car. I used to sit on a small stool in between the seats. The summer trip was to Katzand at the beach. We were camping out in tents all summer long. Mother was packing weeks in advance. Katzand was like a distant planet. Time was no issue here. We spent whole days at the beach, playing and swimming in the surf. My brothers already went to school by themselves when Daddy brought me there for the first time. I went to kindergarten at the 4th Philips Primary School. I learned to sing, to work with clay, and to do group games like Skipper Can I Cross the River, and everything seemed very useful to me. When I was 5 years old, I seemed to be fully prepared for life. I felt strong enough to try lifting my daddy. But this is really, really nice, Mom said, while she lifted my little sister. A baby was born in our family. I was probably invited to hold the baby, but this memory hits a blind spot. Daddy tried a little harder. First a romp with the boys, then a kiss and a hug for Mother, then greeting the girls. The whole province near Katzand overflowed. People had sought refuge on their rooftops. Blankets flew in the air to help the victims. Daddy came home with his own invention. We stood around a socket. 2 wires went in and the glass plate lit up in a nice green color. That was his invention. A train rode across the country with a huge dead whale on it. Daddy took me to the station to show it to me. Mom was away in a hospital, sometimes for a long period. Grandma took care of us, my father's mother. She was kind-hearted and a bit slow. Joke and I mastered the art of pancake baking. We decided to start a business. We were 10 years old and installed our shop at the front door of Joke's house. Mom was in a hospital in Utrecht. Sundays, Daddy went to her by himself. The doorbell rang. 2 police officers told us about the accident. Daddy had very serious injuries. After months, Daddy came home with a leg in a cast and a dent in his forehead. Together with Mom, he tried to find a new way to live. They bought a house at the edge of the woods. I first fainted when I was 13. We were walking in the city when we ran into my great love. His name was Erik. Fainting goes like this. Your legs go wobbly, your head is empty, there are no thoughts, and sounds fade away. Erik was a blond boy in 5th grade. I knew him because he had brought us a puppy, Niels. Erik is too beautiful to draw, so here is Niels instead. I went to dancing class. Mom suggested that I buy high-heel shoes. Daddy burst out when he saw me. Don't you understand at all what I have been trying to teach you? I had a friend, Evelyn. I used to drink tea at her house. Her father suffered from cancer. Evelyn came to our house crying on her horse to tell me that he had died. I fainted on my bike and later woke up next to the history teacher in his car. Your father helped us out during the war in the resistance. He is a man with ideals. Daddy sat staring in the open fire. Mom stayed in the kitchen. This is a mess, I sometimes said. But then I would hear, shut up, we are having a wonderful time. Both parents explained a lot to me about their sorry state of affairs. There was a friend nearby, Maaike, who played the cello. That family loved my company. Some nice things were going on at home. We had a chemistry hut near the garage. My sister spent her days dancing. I taught myself to sew my own clothes, but I fainted. My parents worried about my health and sought help. They had found a place for me with an old friend. In this family, the house rule was survival of the fittest. I went to university in Groningen. I ended up in social studies. Contact with home took place in a phone booth where 5 quarters would suffice for 10 minutes conversation. I lived with Joop, a motorbike-loving sociology student. We made nice trips together, but we gradually grew apart. By and by, everything turned crooked between us. Joop's mother died. My parents divorced. We felt sorry for ourselves and decided to marry. The day itself, I realized that this was a big mistake.